Introduce it, seriously.
Let people come on. So, welcome to 4 Minute Masters, guys. We're here today with my very good friend, Ryan Van Poederooyen, in London. That's not a window. So, wait for some of you guys to come on, and we'll take some questions and have a discussion about whatever you want to talk about, 4 Minute Masters-wise or motivation-wise, what we're doing. We're also interested if you've kind of been to one of our seminars, any success stories of what you've learned from it, or if there's something that you found confusing or you didn't know, just drop us a line. So we got someone there.
We got someone. We got Connor.
We got someone. He's only a Connor.
That's awesome.
He's our Connor.
It is. It's Connor. How's it going, Connor? Oh, yeah. Seminars.
Yeah, seminars are going great. So we started, quick story, is if you haven't been up to date, I started 4 Minute Masters back in March. And then a few interviews in after doing Wim Hof, Leon Logothetis, and I did Gary Crowley. I met Ryan at a show in Nottingham. And after doing one of Ryan's seminars for Health, Body and Mind, we got talking afterwards. We did an actual interview, which is on the channel for this. And then from there, we went on to chat about what I love to do, what Ryan loves to do, and that built from that. So we then decided we'd keep in touch, and then from keeping in touch, we started formulating a plan, and the first stage of that plan was to do 4 Minute Masters presents RVP Health, Body and Mind seminars around the world. And so we're really fortunate. That plan, like Ryan says, one of the big steps is take action. We took action, and we got that seminar to some of the most incredible venues around America, like Red Rocks. You were in Chicago. London. Yeah, but then
Dublin.
We hit London, Dublin. We did Australia, the whole leg of Australia.
Yeah.
And these were originally restricted to 5 people due to venue security and concerns, and just trying to get the right group. But since we've grown it, we've managed to get to much bigger groups. And in the few months we've been doing this, they're growing and growing and growing. So we're so excited to bring it to you guys. So yeah, we're just going to be here today talking about what we do.
Upcoming seminars.
The next one. Can we say?
Well, we can say what we're working on.
We're working on, as you guys know, DTP's on tour for the summer around Europe. And I'm sure you're aware they'll probably be touring into the winter. So there are a lot of seminars we're looking into. And we're really excited. There's a few potential ones that I think are going to be really exciting. Taking to parts that I would just love to bring this kind of message to of inspiration. What's this? The fishing rod analogy was great. Best thing about the seminar is that Ryan talks from the heart and draws you more in. I get that a lot. A lot of people who message the 4 Minute Masters page say the reason that the success they get is because you aren't reading from the projector. Yeah. You're not checking your notes. You're actually speaking from the heart.
Yeah.
And
well, that's the whole point of it. That's why I do it. Is it's all up here. You know what I mean? So it's my experiences and what I've gone through in my life, all the failures and successes, and I think I'm going to get people's attention more if I'm making eye contact and not looking at a screen behind me or something, or looking at a cheat sheet or anything like that, right? So it's all up here, and I prepped for these seminars for a good year before I even decided to do it, just because I wanted to make sure that everything was natural by the time I did it. So when we get comments like this, it means probably more than anything to me, because that's truly how I deliver these seminars. It's all from the heart and up here.
And that's another thing which I love is I interview a lot of amazing people on here. And I feel a lot of them have gone through the kind of the Toastmasters circuit of how to train to be a speaker. But I think you doing it for yourself on your own terms, and that's what's you're doing what you love what you do, and you're being yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's be a first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else.
That's right.
And that's what's great. And I don't think you kind of went into this, because I think when you started, you didn't actively go out going, I'm going to do this from the heart, and I'm never going to use a projector. It just became that.
Yeah, it's 100% when it became. I even thought about the whole using a projector, or at one point I was even going to print up a sheet that I gave out to everyone at the seminar so they could follow the points. But I thought people will be more involved and more inspired and motivated if they take their own personal notes, as opposed to me giving out a sheet. So I refrain from doing that, and instead, people are just writing down the things that mean the most to them.
Well, one thing I love,
taking it from there.
Taking from that is, I think we can both agree, everyone in this field trying to change people's lives, they're all saying the same basic message.
Yeah.
And I think what people gravitate to you is they're understanding your delivery. Similar to how I love Mike Dooley, and so do you. We understand what he's trying to say. Yeah. And I think when people take their own notes, they're putting it in a way that they understand.
Yeah.
And so when they reflect on their notes going, oh, is it because they're going to highlight what they felt in that very moment was the most important thing. Yeah. And I looked at my book earlier from when we first met, and I was copious note-taking.
Yeah, this guy was writing a lot.
I had 100% responsibility and circled and kept circling.
It's a big one.
And it's not even actually part of your, like, what you would call your steps. Yeah. But I found that interesting because that when I went away, I was like, okay, there's a reason I circled this in the moment, so I started applying it more. And since I've done that, it's kind of the 100% responsibility has made me the creator of my life.
Exactly.
And I accept, and there's a great thing we talk about every seminar now. There's always the guy going, who's the first to blame? Oh, it's that guy. Yeah. But when something amazing happens, you're always like, that was me, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think when you can kind of go, wait, it's all me, you can do
every decision.
Incredible things.
Yeah.
Another thing that I'd love to bring up is you changed it from 8 steps to 9 because you added health.
Yeah.
I know why, but I just love to hear you why it's so important because health is so important. To me, it's one of my number ones. It's like you want the car running perfect and then you're good to go.
Well, a lot of the times when people hear health, automatically they're just thinking about, you got to have muscle or it's about how you look, and that's not what I meant by adding health, which everyone understands when I talk about in the seminar. Health is a direct connection to your mind. That's what I've always believed, because I've been through every spectrum of health. I've had a really bad back accident that really affected my life. I've been overweight for a small period of time throughout my life, but for the most part, I was always in good shape. So I knew the extreme of what being overweight felt like and what being in great shape felt like. And it's like right now I'm in great shape in my life, and I'm staying true to myself because that's how I feel best. That's how I make my best decisions. That's how I think clearly. That's how I'm able to do these seminars and stuff, is because not just the fact that I'm working out and I feel great or look better than I did when I had 45 pounds of weight on my body. My decision making, how I think, is so much more clear, right? So the purpose of adding health to the seminar was mainly due to the connection to the mind, and obviously the obvious reasons of health.
Yeah, you want to live long enough to see your successes.
Exactly.
And I think myself and my partner, we've kind of gone to a next level in the diet. We've always eaten well and exercised, but taking it to that next level, because I think when you're again responsible for your own life and you take it, you realize you can level up at your own choice.
Yeah.
And so we've severely upped our health game, extreme working out and whatnot with some of the recommendations you had, and already the difference
is massive.
Sleep quality better, better rested, eating better, feel better. People think you're in just a good mood all the time.
Yeah.
You find your brain's working even faster.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It all branches out from there because people start going, okay, well, if he's in a good mood and he's doing well, I want to be associated with him.
Exactly.
And so you start associating with better people, which means your life increases. So it's actually from one tiny decision you make going, maybe I will go for that run or I'm going to lift those weights. It can get you to whatever your dream is, that mansion in the sky or your car or the dream lady.
It's one of many steps, right? And each step has its purpose in how you live and run your life.
Yeah, but
and that's why I have these 9 steps. Is everyone's important.
Yeah.
But health is a big one. It's a big staple. For me, it was a life change.
But like you're just into your 40s and you'd say the best shape you've been in for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And I can attest that you're in fantastic shape, and you feel like as you get older, you're definitely teetering, so you're actually playing a catch-up game the whole time. I've just hit my 30s, and you're like, you see 20-year-olds going out drinking all hours of the day, and you're going, wow, I couldn't do that. But you need to put the effort in. Again, you're responsible for your own life.
Yeah.
And if I'd have known what I'd have known 10 years ago, that would have been great. But I'm very fortunate to know it now.
Yeah.
And we cross paths, and we get to cross paths with you guys. If you guys got any questions or anything, just want to say hi, please write it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, and you know, the thing that's most important about the seminars is I'm just trying to share these steps and spread a message to anyone. It's no one in particular. It's not like to Devin Townsend Project fans or you know, people that are in a bad place. It's to everyone. They could be people who are amazing and successful, you know, that could take these steps and make it even better. So it's not a targeted audience, and that's not what I want it to be. I want it to be for anyone and everyone, because like I say at the start of every seminar, I believe that we should help each other more. And that's why I started doing it. And I do it for free, you know, and then I saw what Bo does. Bo does the same thing for free with 4-minute masters. It just made sense right away. And that was the interesting thing about how Bo and I connected in Nottingham is, you know, after that initial meeting, after that seminar, I asked Bo to go, let's go for coffee, let's talk. Because I just sensed something right away, right? And then when we went for that coffee, it ended up being like, what, an hour and a half?
Yeah.
And right away I knew, I'm like, hey, I need to keep in touch with this person, because it's the same message that we're delivering. And I think this world would be a hell of a lot better place if people helped each other more than starting wars over religion or money or oil or whatever it may be. There's a million different things, right? So, you know, there was one thing that was really interesting. I think it was Jack Canfield who said it, but they asked, but Mother Teresa, he said, will you attend a fight against war? She said no. She said, but if it's a peace rally, I'll attend it, right? So I always remember that. That's pretty strong in what it was. You know, people think, oh, it's the same thing, but it's how it's said. Yeah. And that's one of the things I talk about in my seminar as well, is be careful what you say and what you think.
Well, another big one, because I know money is a huge thing for people. And there is a very big difference between trying to get out of debt and being prosperous.
Yeah.
Although they sound the same, they are different. And one is focusing on, I'm in this really shitty place and I need to get out. And the other is, what a blessed life I have. Like, we're here right now. We're in London. Like, it's the hottest day of the year. Sun shining.
It's hot.
It's beautiful. Like, this is amazing.
Nice, yeah.
Just quickly off the top of my head, while I remember, a lot of people come to me and go, okay, so you're doing these things with Ryan. Are these dedicated to rock people and musicians and whatnot? And no, the answer is no. This is for everyone.
Yeah.
However, to those people who are really interested in going, okay, I'm into the DTP and I love Ryan, I love the music, use what Ryan's saying and what I'm putting on my channel and apply it to your music, because it will make you fulfilled, because the reason you're into the music makes you happy. Mm-hmm. So therefore, if this can expand that happiness by taking seriously, like for instance, like we just spoke about health. If you're a drummer or if you're a guitar player or a singer, I know I'm a singer, the better health I'm in, the better I perform. The better health you're in, the better you perform. Therefore, people, if your dream is to get signed and you want to be big, the people who make those decisions are going to take you a hell of a lot more seriously if they see you on stage and you're in your best shape, because it shows that you mean business, rather than turning up and you've got your Doritos and you've got your beers and you're just going, you know what, yeah, it's just music, man, this is the life. Like anything, music is a business. You got to work hard at it. You got to dream big. You got to, and I think the big thing is you just work hard at it. It's not just the lucky breaks exist for the people who work their asses up to get there.
Yeah,
and it's a privilege to be here with you, because I knew your band before we met, and I used to be in awe of the performances. And now to be here with you on a different level with 4-Minute Masters and RVP Health, Money and Mind, I understand it. And some people can go, wow, they got their lucky break because they got played on Metal Hammer or something. Man, I've not met a harder working person than you. Like,
you know what? there's a ton of hardworking people. There's people who work even harder than me, but it's not how hard you work, it's how smart you work.
Yeah.
You know, hard work needs to be efficient at the same time. But, you know, like they say too, a great quote is the harder you work, the luckier you get. You know, I don't believe in luck, but I do believe in hard work.
Yeah.
Because the more things, more doors you're opening, more stones you're turning over, the greater chance you're going to have of success.
We got a good question here. It says, I want to start working out and become healthy to benefit my drumming, which is great. So we can relate to that. And he says, though I find it a hard time getting into repetition, is there anything you can suggest to help with this? So I think what he's trying to say is the motivation or the momentum into getting going. And as someone in shape, what would you suggest?
Start.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. And that's no, it honestly.
Just end it there.
It seems like a cop-out, right? But for those of you out there who work out, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's days, maybe I drank a few beers with the guys after a show or whatever. I'm at my hotel and there's a gym in the hotel and feeling a little hungover or tired. And the most important, down to the gym and start. If I sit there and I procrastinate and I think about it, I'm just like, oh, maybe I can do it tomorrow, or you do everything not to step foot in that gym, then next thing you know, you go through your entire day and you haven't worked out. So the biggest thing to start, to answer that question, is to actually commit. Go buy the membership and work out that same day and hit the gym. Find a program. Things that I do all the time is, if I'm interested in something, I'll read about it. I'll research it. I'll go online. I'll Google it. If there's a specific way that I want my body to look, or if I want to eat a certain way so I can put on muscle, or if I want to, you know, maybe get a little more ripped, you know, I'll look at different ways I can do that online, right? But it inspires and motivates you when you start reading that. All you need to do is find inspiration and motivation and start. And that's the best way that you can do it, you know, and that's what works for me consistently, whether it's drumming, whether it's I love doing photography. I'm taking pictures all the time. My father influenced me on that as well, so I'll go online and research it. Drumming, tons of different things. But I think that step is what people overlook the most.
Yeah.
And then what happens is they procrastinate and they never start. That's one of the biggest problems. Tons of people go out there and they'll buy memberships to gyms, and they won't go that first day, but they'll buy the membership and they think that's a step. The best thing you could do is buy the membership and work out the same day. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Isn't it great? What a business. Like, how many people do we know who have gym memberships but don't go?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't go today. Why? Oh, because the sun was out.
Gyms are making a killing,
and
too.
They're winning off us for that. But you're right. It's the just start. Even as soon as you get the thought, you need to outthink your brain. And Mel Robbins, who I'm a huge fan of, she's just written a book called 5 Second Rule. And she's put the label on the 5 second rule. For me, it's something I've done my whole life, where I will give myself, I would do 10 seconds. I've got 10 seconds within a thought of action to do it, to start taking a step. So if it's, you wake up in the morning, you open your eyes and you go, I need to work out. I can talk myself out of it in 11 seconds. But in 10 seconds, I've got a chance to get up. Mm-hmm. By the time I'm up, then I've got another 10 seconds to get my shoes on. Then I've got to go and I've got to get my weights out. And then I've got to start working out. And before you know it, I've done a 45-minute, 1 hour workout. And I've gone, what was I worried about? Yeah. Like, you're your own worst enemy. However, you can out-trick yourself. So the 5 second rule is quite simple. As soon as you get a call to action, I need to call my boss about that. I want those days off. Or, you know what, I need to ask that girl out, as stupid as it sounds, or something like that. It's going to make a big difference. You got 5 seconds to start making steps in that direction, and then you're going to start reaping results. And you know what? Yeah, you're going to get burned. You're going to trip up. You're going to make silly mistakes, but you're going to look back going, thank God I did it.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool thing. I haven't read that book, so
great book.
I'd be interested in it. Yeah.
Like Mel Robbins is really taking it to the masses now, as a kind of, not a therapy, but more of a kind of way of thinking, a way of life. And although I agree, I think it's a great tool. I don't think your life should be based on that, because I think you get to a point where you get excited. Another thing me and my partner do, which is great, is whenever you get down or you get angry or frustrated or agitated, whatever it can be, realize that you're only that because you're not where you want to be in your life, or something's not matched your standards. But nothing great has ever come from someone being happy 24/7 and life's just going great, and then they achieve the next thing. Great things come from this period of frustration and turmoil. So what we do is every time you start getting agitated or frustrated or something, it then gets overcome with excitement, because it's, wow, the next big breakthrough is any second.
Yeah.
And I've got a diary that I keep a note, like with the date, and I put the date down, I put the feeling down, and then I look within 2 or 3 days of a major breakthrough. Every single time there's a major breakthrough, it's 100% proof. So if you guys start thinking of your brain that way, you've got something that's working for your primitive survival. Yeah, you might not have the job you want, or you might not, you just might be unhappy because you're unhealthy and whatnot. But as soon as you start getting frustrated, it's that frustration that makes you go, you know what, screw this. I am going to go running. Yeah, but I'm not in shape. Shut up, brain. And you put your shoes on. You could be 25 pounds overweight. Next thing you know, you're 1K into your run, and you're wanting to throw up, and you're hating your life. But you know what? You're 1K further than you were 20 minutes.
It's going back to the starting thing again.
So it's just start.
It's working hard.
Visualizing helps me with this.
There's 9 steps that I teach in the seminar, but the number one step, which isn't given away a lot, but the number one step out of all 9 is work hard.
Yeah, and I think that can be interpreted as take action, start.
Yeah.
I could use harsher words.
Word.
Yeah. And I think it's really interesting that a lot of people, The Secret, we talk about The Secret because a lot of the teachers in The Secret are fantastic. However, I feel there are some elements that are more glamorized than others. For me, I, like Connor just mentioned there, visualizing. And visualizing is wonderful, and you feel great from it.
It's incredible.
However, you're going to have to take the action, because you know what? At the end of the day, when you work hard, you get to say it's yours.
Yeah.
If any of you have a job and you get a paycheck, that wasn't just given to you. You traded your time and your skill for finance. Therefore, you've earned that. That's yours.
Yeah.
I suggested journaling to a friend recently. I'm glad it's not a lost art. I, although in this internet age, I refuse to read a Kindle, I will always read a book.
Yeah,
I will,
the same way.
And I won't type my diary or anything on my computer. I handwrite it. There's a great book, I can't remember the title, but it's the power of translating your movement onto paper and writing rather than just typing has profound impacts. And that's why I've got so many Moleskine books, and I've got them littered around the house. I'm looking now and I can see 2, 3.
Yeah, there's books everywhere.
And they're just so I can pick them up and I can start writing. And the cool thing is, Jim Rohn says it, you get to do all this and you get to journal your life. And there's some amazing journaling exercises, like daily notes and kind of free thought, which are fantastic. One day, if you've got a family, you've got kids, maybe grandkids, you could be successful. You should be. Whatever you do, success is different in everyone's eyes. You get to take these journals and give them to these people just before you pass away. And you can go, this is my life as recorded by me. That's my handwriting. I did this. And that's an incredible thing. And I think one of the biggest selling books a few years ago was the Kurt Cobain journals. Because everyone got fascinated by, he wrote this. It wasn't typed up. It wasn't a fabricated story. These are his journals, his drawings. And that inspired a lot of people I know to go out and become musicians, because that was during the years when I think Nirvana died off the radar, and it brought them back and they released the best ofs again. Yeah. People were reading this going, holy crap, that's how you do it. So it's really exciting. What do we got there? Nothing replaces hard work.
No, it's very
totally
true.
Rob.
Rob's a very successful person himself.
But even today.
And he knows exactly what he's talking about.
You know Rob?
Yeah.
Hi, Rob.
Actually, Rob's one of my drum students.
Is he?
Yeah, he lives in Edmonton, right, Rob? Edmonton, and in Canada. But he gets it.
But that's it.
Smart guy.
He's tuning in at what, 9 a.m. Is it over there? Even
Yeah,
earlier.
No,
so,
it's yeah, that's early.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on.
Totally.
It's my day off today. It's Ryan's day off. However, we're doing this. We're putting the work in. And again, you didn't come on here as a sales pitch. We're doing this because we love what we do. But we work hard at it. And to get these seminars out to you guys, it's not just Ryan flies around the world with DTP and just arrives and people come and so it takes a lot of coordination, a lot of work to do it. And so we work hard at this.
Yeah.
And
it's important. I think one of the most important things that I always make a point of at this any seminar I do, and I know Bo does this as well, he's joined me on the last couple ones, is there's no catch. These things are free and I enjoy doing them. They last 2.5 hours on average, and I've had nothing but awesome experiences and great feedback as well. Both Bo and I received great feedback from it. But more importantly, it's the stories that we get back from the people who've attended it. That's what makes it definitely all worth
feel it, because when you've met someone and you can see in their eyes they've got a little, I wish life was slightly better. Mm-hmm. And then they get to message you, or you meet them in person and they tell you a few weeks later the excitement. There isn't a better feeling.
Yeah,
it's incredible. Cool. And I get it, but Ryan gets it in much more than me, because Ryan's actually out on the road a lot more than me. And it's why we do it. Yeah, we will get to a point where we will get the demand for these seminars, and we will have to charge to cover our flights and get this done. And there's a lot in the works with 4-Minute Masters, and a hell of a lot more in the works with myself and RVP, Health, Body and Mind. And again, we're not outgoing trying to make a quick buck. And already there's times when I think we could have cashed out onto a monetary-tized trail to do kind of speaking tours. Yep. But no, because you guys are what it's about. And I know if people are fluttering in and out of the room, we can see. And this will be up online later for you to watch, and you can watch it in your own time. But guys, this is all free, and it's actually coming from a really honest place. I myself have had a really interesting few years that brought me to here. And although I've been into motivation myself, I did get tested to kind of go, okay, well, if you're going to read all this stuff, let's put it into action. And I've failed more than most people I know, and I'm really proud of that, because it's brought me to these places. And the people I align with now and I have around my life, I couldn't have gotten them unless I'd gone through that. So if you're in a place where you think you've made some bad decisions, or you've had a crappy life, or whatever your excuse is, take responsibility for it, realize where you are right now, and start going, wow, what an amazing life. There's a great story that you tell. I'm going to get you to tell it. Because we're not trying to do the seminar online, but there's one or two little gold nuggets that I just love. And it's when people go, yeah, okay, cool, I'll be grateful now. Yeah, the fucking sun's shining, trees are out, yeah, beautiful. But there's a seminar you had where a gentleman said to you, what if you've got nothing to be grateful for? Take over, man. I just love it, because I think it really hits home.
Well, this one guy in a seminar I did, he got up, and I was waiting for this question to be asked for a long time. And he stood up, and his question to me was, what if there's nothing to be grateful for? What if you have nothing to be grateful for? And I kind of smirked, and, I was like, well, okay, go like this, And he's like, all right. So he lifts his arm, and then I go like this. And he's like, what? And then I go like this. And that's your pulse, right? And he's like, oh. And yeah, everyone in the audience was kind of cheering and clapping and stuff, but I wasn't trying to make an example of him. I was just trying to show how easy it is to be grateful.
Well, the odds of you being alive, I think we'd love chatting about this, is 400 trillion to 1. And when I spoke to Gary Vaynerchuk about this, he is trying to make it a brand. Like, he's got t-shirts with 400 trillion to 1. And you are the man. You've won the lottery already.
You're living a bucket list.
You're
life.
living it already. And so many people are going, oh, poor me. Guys, you've won. I love it. The odds of your mom and dad together, and your mom may have wanted another glass of wine and went into the other room before your parents got together, you wouldn't be here. Yeah. So thank the alcohol company that made the good wine that stopped them. But little things like that. But if you want to get really crazy, just think of the odds of that happening. Then the odds of their parents meeting their parents and theirs to theirs, it just blows your mind. So you've already won. Start living like a winner and start enjoying it. It's incredible, man.
Enjoy it every day.
Like I wake up so happy every day. And people, you get like, oh, what's wrong? You on drugs? You just something wrong with you? No, man. I choose to be happy. It's a choice.
It is.
It is, and yeah, you can be depressed, and I understand people have hardships. However, if you start taking responsibility for that and start moving in the correct direction, I promise you, you'll break through before life breaks you. It's 100%.
That's Michelle saying. Yeah.
We got positivity has to be the life-changing thing for me after the talk with you guys. Feels great to be consumed with it. Thanks, Michelle. I think you were in Dublin with us.
That's right, she was.
And
yeah,
it's great to hear that. Positivity, a lot of people I think feel you're in the middle and then you've got positivity and then you've got negativity.
Yeah.
But I think
it's a choice.
Yeah, it is a choice. However, I don't think you should dwell in the middle. You can always just be on one side. And that's you. And you know what? Yeah, you're going to have times where you're going to get angry, you're going to get pissed off, you're going to get sad. It's just part of it. But as long as you know where your ship's sailing, just keep going back to that.
And not only that, like they say, there's always a positive and a negative. I talk about that in the seminar as well all the time. So a lot of people are like, oh, you can't just be positive all the time. It's true. You're going to go through bad times. You're going to go through bad days and whatnot. But the thing is you can always take something from those bad days. Again, it's like treating it like success or failure. You can learn from both ends of the spectrum. So, if you catch yourself being negative, which all of us do, to this day, I throw seminars, I still go through negative points all the time, and it happens. But at least I'll take a step back and learn from that negative.
And it's how you come back. And I think every great success in the world that you respect, I promise, if you can get hold of their bio or something, they've been through some really hard times. I think Oprah was told, you're black, you're a woman, and you're overweight. You will never even get on TV. Now she owns the world of networks. And it's because she didn't give up. She worked hard, and she didn't dwell on what other people said, because what other people think of you is none of your business.
Yeah, I love that one.
I love that.
Yeah,
get tattooed on here.
Yeah.
We got a great question here. I think you're going to love this one by Regis. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Hi, guys. Nice to see you. Just a simple question. Does hard work always pay? In your job, in love, etc. What if it doesn't go the way you want? Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Here's the thing. You're going to open a ton of doors. You're going to work hard in a bunch of different directions. There's an analogy that I give in the seminar, which I'm going to save for the seminar. But whenever you're working hard in different directions, you're going to run into failures all the time. But again, like I just said about being negative, failing and making mistakes are some of the best things you can ever do in your life, because those are some of the greatest lessons you'll learn from to make you better. So does hard work always pay? No, it doesn't if you're talking about the end result. But yes, it does if you learn from every mistake or failure that you make. So if you can understand what I'm saying there, it's like, to me, hard work does always pay off, because there's always something to be learned from either succeeding or failing.
A great failure story I was told years ago, which I love, is there was a gentleman who tried to create the ultimate glue, something that was unbreakable, unbond, like you could use it on buildings, you could literally cement it to anything. And he kept experimenting, and he made this one, and it was the worst thing he ever made, and it was a failure to him. And luckily, he didn't stop there. He went, okay, this is where I am. What do I have? And he assessed his situation. And long story short, he turned his failure into what we now call Post-it notes.
Yeah, right.
And so we all use Post-it notes for things. You put a Post-it on and it comes off really easy, no marks and whatnot. He developed that from trying to go the complete opposite direction. And you know what? Could have just written that off and just said, you know what? That's just the way it is, and I'm going to keep trying to make the ultimate glue. But he realized, wait a second, there's an application for this. The same with Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
thousands of times he failed making the light bulb. I can't remember the exact number. And then he got asked about it. And he goes, what does it feel like to fail that many times? He goes, no, I didn't fail. I just learned X amount of thousand ways not to do it.
Exactly.
And it's how you choose it. Again, you're coming back to perception and 100% responsibility. You choose your perception.
So, Mark.
Hey, Mark Randall. Mark, we've not met, but I've heard a lot about you.
Guy's an amazing guy. Amazing guy. He runs Thump Music in Australia. He brought me out for drum clinic tour that I did, where I actually started doing my seminars at the end of every drum clinic. I did about a half an hour rundown on, then it was 8 steps. Now it's 9 steps, but that's where it all kind of started for me. And Mark was a huge part of that. Mark gets it. Mark knows everything that we're talking about, because even when I was with him in Australia just recently, last month, we talk about this stuff all the time. And yeah, he's a great human being, and he gets it.
Yeah, I've said we've recently become friends on here, and
yeah.
I see the content being shared, and it's great. And it kind of reflects as well that people, once you start living a life of your design, you start associating with incredible people.
Yeah, you get an inner circle of people. Surround yourself with similar people that are happy, positive. You know, the 5 people you surround yourself most with directly influence your life.
Yeah, you become the average in a way. And I think I made a really conscious decision to do that. And I think 4 Minute Masters, part of it came from, okay, so if I associate with the most successful people in the world, will I be an average of that? Not to kind of try and get something from it, but just to see. And the people I've met, it's exceeded my expectations beyond anything. And like, we're now in London and we're hanging out.
Yeah.
And
again. We were hanging out a week ago.
It's getting boring, Ryan.
Yeah, right.
But it's amazing, and this is life now, and we get to go out and we get to experience the world out. We have wonderful dinners, amazing conversations, and a friend of mine recently asked me, so do you just talk about positivity all the time when you sit down? No, because that's not who I am. This is a facet of who I am. I shared a post the other day saying, just to show I don't pump motivational content nonstop, I'm more than that. I posted my music online, and that was just another facet. But no, when we're out,
talk about dogs, coffee.
Dogs,
eels,
coffee.
Eels in the river.
Eels in the river. He doesn't believe me. If you're in London, can someone tell Ryan there are eels in the Thames?
I believe.
Yeah, but you were looking. Actually,
it's just like, that's weird. You know, eels back home in Canada, they're in the ocean, right? So, yeah, it was interesting.
But you got any questions, please, or if you just want to say hi, we'd love to hear from you. This is going to go be saved on the 4 Minute Masters Facebook page, and if you do, you can keep asking questions, and I will get back to you on them. If there's something directed at Ryan, I'll get in touch with Ryan, and Ryan will ask them. What's your favorite book?
It's hard. Are we talking
something that you're
just anything?
Something that because we're on 4 Minute Master, I'd say not Harry Potter, because I know you love Harry Potter.
Definitely wasn't that. Lord of the Rings, a little bit different. I actually really enjoy those books, but I don't know. I think a book that really made me. I read this book that my father told me to read. He said, "Check this guy out. His name is Mike Dooley, and check out some of his books." So the first book I read by him was Manifesting Change. It's called, and I read it, and I was just like, I do that. I've done that. I do this. Oh, I do that too, and a lot of these authors, they write about the same things. It's just the delivery. You'll connect with certain authors versus others. And I really connected with this book. And to this day, I think it's the most influential book that I've read. It's called Manifesting Change by Mike Dooley. But
Mike's been on 4 Minute Masters, guys.
Yeah, recently, and that was really, really cool to see. And I even got Bo one of his other books called Infinite Possibilities. I sent it to you.
It jumped to my number 1, and not because you gave it to me, but the language. It just, again, I had that.
Connect,
I
right?
do that. Oh, I never thought of that way. That explains that, and each one kept going on, and I was just so much so. I have a lot of friends that I buy the book for, and I continue to give it away. What I actually recommend is, what I'll do today is anyone who's commented, even hello, anything, I'll pick someone at random later. I'll get in contact and I'll send you a free copy of that book because it's had such an impact on me. And because Ryan's here as well, I think it's a suitable book to give away for this 4-Minute Masters Live. So yeah, if you've commented or anything, I will seek you out by random and you might have a book coming your way.
There you go.
We've got a question. What if you've been unhappy for so long that the idea of happiness is actually foreign and subsequently frightening? Any thoughts on overcoming that hurdle?
It's a good question, but honestly, it comes down to one thing in my mind: what you think about, you bring about. If you honestly think that it's going to be frightening, it will be frightening.
I was just about to say that. I was like,
so
it's whatever whatever you believe is what it is.
Yeah.
Whether you can or whether you can't, you're right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Henry Ford.
That's not to downplay saying, well, in a way, screw you. I think you need to basically change the lens and start with the gratitude. A great thing is the gratitude exercise of just going, what am I grateful for in my life? Mm-hmm. And really start small. And if it's too big, if you keep going smaller and smaller until you get to, I'm alive. Wow, someone else could have been alive. Someone else could have been alive.
Is pissed off.
And just, yeah, you're alive. And then look around. You have friends, I'm sure, or there's something you love doing. If you're into gaming or if you're into rock music, be grateful that those people took their time to create that art. Mm-hmm. And I know it sounds silly, but you know what? They might not have wanted to. They could have done something else that time. Be grateful for if you've got any pets. Pets are the best. They're the easiest way to... There have been days, I've had days where I wake up and it's raining. You're like, oh, gratitude time. Okay, I'm grateful. And then your dog, you're like, yeah, come on. It's so easy.
You know, another thing too, she says, any thoughts on overcoming that hurdle? Well, the bottom line is that's a fear, the way you described it, and the best way to handle fear is to take it head on. Yeah. And the only way to take fear head on is think of a positive outcome. And I've had to do that several times in my life. You know, making the decision to go full-time with Devin Townsend Project 7 years ago was always a dream, but I was giving up a job that paid me a lot of money, you know, close to 80 grand a year, and to take a job that paid way, way, way less, but that made me the happiest guy on the planet, you know, and I'm still here living an amazing life, and I still don't make nearly close to the money that I made, but that's not the point. It's not about money, but that decision, that was a fear where I let money come into play. And once I weighed out all my options and the fact that I do something that I love for a living, and that I accomplished many, many dreams and bucket list things through it, it became very easy. And I faced that fear, and all I thought about was the end result, a positive end result. And I'm happy to report that many of those things have come true. You know, and
it's so inspiring seeing your photos that you put on your Facebook. You gotta like Ryan's stuff on Facebook. The links will definitely be below. But Ryan loves posting pictures of the crowd from his drum kit because it's the dead center. You see everything, and it's so inspiring. So much so, my background on my phone is you Hammersmith Apollo. Yeah. Playing and just there, because to me, just seeing a crowd of people like that, it does wonders for kind of my visualization and what I'm internalizing for my own goals. But yeah, it's really, if you need a kind of good screensaver to kind of go, holy crap, someone's living the dream, and what an incredible thing that is. Because you know what, if you were a miserable, unhappy person, you wouldn't be taking those photos. Yeah. And you wouldn't be appreciating it and sharing it consistently, show after show. And most of you guys are fans of the DTP, so you know what it's like.
You know, the other reason I do it isn't just to remind myself where I am or whatever. I also do it for the people in the audience. Yeah. Because I know they love going, hey, that's me in the front row, you know, or there I am, you know, a few rows back or whatever. It's like sharing the experience with the crowd. That's why I do that. Is I can't do this without all those people who support us. So this is just a way of going, hey, we're in this together. Here you guys are, because they're the rock stars and the huge, you know, professional musicians to me, in a sense that they're they're keeping us out there. They're buying our stuff. They're buying our merch. They're buying the tickets, the albums, whichever. So it's a way of including everyone to show that, hey, we're in this together, right? So that's why I take them at the end of every show, and I know people look forward to it, and it's a cool way of sharing that with the people who support you. So yeah, I'm living the dream. I love what I do, and I do what I love every single day, including this. You know, my purpose in life since I was 12 years old was to do exactly what I'm doing now. But I also have a new purpose. Just because you have a purpose in life doesn't mean that you can't have several. And right now, where I'm at is my music career, which I love and I'll do for as long as I possibly can. And the motivational speaking. And more importantly, not even motivational speaking, it's about helping others and inspiring others, motivating others, and just doing everything I can to help people live a life of purpose on their own. Thing is, one thing I always talk about, I can inspire and motivate the hell out of anyone. But the only thing that's going to make it work are you guys, and actually taking action, working hard. Okay, you can take all the inspiration and motivation in the world. It won't do shit for you if you don't do something about it.
Exactly, because you're not the only motivational speaker in the world.
Yeah, there's
a
million of them. Yeah, there's so many of them, and that's great. I love that.
But what I want really hoping is how Ryan delivers it is the way that makes you go, yeah, because there's no qualms about it. Most of the people that we meet are fans of Devin Townsend Project.
Yeah.
And you know what? They've kind of questioned, going, maybe there's more to life. And I've been very lucky to be with you and see that most of the people who are with you are not being sycophantic and going, I'm just going to sit here just so I can meet Ryan. They're actively engaged. Yeah. They're replying to us. They're getting back to us. And it's really exciting to see. And you know what? If maybe you've got 50% of what Ryan's saying for you is getting through, it might not work. Check out other people. There's so many people out there with the same pure intent, the message from the heart saying, you are capable of miracles, because anything that you see around you has been designed by someone who dreamed it up first. Like I'm looking at a house outside the window. That was a design that was in someone's head before it actually became. So yeah, just explore some other teachers. On Formative Masters, that's another reason I do it. They're all saying the same thing. However, they might say it in a way that makes you go, yeah. Or you might disagree, go, no, I don't like that language. Like for me, there's certain teachers I just have to shy away from because I find myself putting too much energy and going, I don't agree with how he's saying it, than actually listening to him. So I just I do try and take what I can, but I don't waste my time on it.
Exactly.
We've got some good questions here. Hi guys, I attended the London seminar and it was fantastic. It has genuinely, without a doubt, helped me get into gear with my songwriting. And I can't thank you enough. Thank you for what you're both doing, providing. It's amazing. Thank you, Sam. Awesome, I think you were at the London, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, these small steps you're taking, keep going, and in a week from now look back on your songwriting, whatever you're doing, and you'll see the progress. And I think going back to one of the questions earlier about working out, when you do it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you look at the progress, that's what keeps you going.
Yeah.
I know, like recently I've been able to be on a new regime and seeing the difference in myself. It's addictive. Great thing I said to you, which you didn't hear, was nothing tastes as good as looking good feels.
Yeah.
It's great, man.
It's a good one. Tongue twister, too.
Wow.
Right?
What else we got? Andrew Pritchard. Thank you once again, both of you, for the London seminar. Steps are already working for me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Andrew. And thanks for coming out to London. London seminar was interesting. We had quite a few people heading off to download, and the London train situation, if you do live in London, is a nightmare. So if you did make it, thank you so much. If you didn't, don't worry. I'm sure we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Like we're in London right now.
We had a lot of interest for that one, but it's just timing, scheduling. DTP had to be at Golden Gods the other day that we're here, so we couldn't do it that day.
But again, we are doing the best we can to offer this, and again, we couldn't do it without you guys and without your demand.
Yeah.
Mark says, Shayla, find something small to get your happiness spark, then grow it a little at a time. It lessens the thought of being frightened. That's great advice, Mark. Because just
Mark and I talk about this stuff all the time. So
You said, from Ryan's told me a lot about you, Mark. You sound like a fantastic guy. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Looking to Minneapolis. I met Ryan during his tour in France, and his advice changed my life. I just love, we're not even finished. I just love reading that. So if you can get to meet him in person, like Bo and him, providing positivity, don't hesitate to do it. Will really help. That means a lot to me.
yeah, that's amazing.
And it's just great to hear that, and hopefully I get to meet you guys around the world, because I will be actively
That's the plan.
at more of these.
You know, take it everywhere. Have Bo presenting everywhere. We got some really cool plans in the future. To be honest, I'm sitting back a lot on this actual live feed, because I want you guys to hear Bo speak as well. He has a lot of great things to say. There's a reason why I partnered up with Bo to do this around the world, and why 4-Minute Masters is presenting. If you haven't seen all of his videos, there's always a golden nugget in every single one. So I recommend seeing them all. But that's why I started working with Bo, is because we have the same vision. We view the future the same, and not only that, he's very well spoken. There's a lot of great things that we can do together, and we have a lot of really cool plans that we can't talk about right now, that we're going to do, not that we're thinking of doing. We're going to do them. So you know, just keep on coming out to the seminars, keep following 4-Minute Masters, RVP, Health, Body, and Mind, and you're gonna get caught up on some really cool stuff in the near future.
Thanks, man. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up now. We've been on nearly an hour.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you for your questions. As I said, if you've tuned into this after we've gone live and you've got questions, please still ask them. I will get back to you. I will read them all. I will take the time to do it. And if there's anything specific to Ryan, I'll do my best. I know Ryan's very busy.
Yep.
But thank you, Ryan, for giving me your time.
Thank you.
I know it's a day off for DTP, and you could be doing anything on the hottest day of the year. But
it was hot, but it's good.
You spent some time with me, so thank you. And again, guys, thank you guys, because we're all one of the same. And it's great seeing, just before we go, some people commenting, trying to talk, especially like the example was with Shayla, saying what they think would work for her. So guys, continue to connect with each other, not just us.
That's the important thing, is unity, helping each other.
Yeah, and just keep growing it from there, guys, because without us doing this, the more you guys keep sharing it and meeting up. We've already had a few people who've made friends through seminars who never met each other before.
Well, you, Rob, and Stacy, how about that?
Those guys. That's just interesting golden story. People, and how that led to us doing Dublin. Yeah. And
amazing things happen.
I'll be getting married next year, and the guest list seems to be being over-dominated by the guests on 4-Minute Masters and the people I'm meeting out on tour. So, guys, thank you, guys. Thanks
guys.
Ryan, and yeah, keep asking questions. We'll see you really soon. Keep updated. We're going to be putting some brand new seminar dates out soon around Europe, and we got some really exciting updates soon. So have a great day, guys. Enjoy the sun. Good night, good morning. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Where's the off button?